Welcome to the 311 Griffin YouTube channel, everybody. I had a request a long time ago to kind of go through my procedures for the GBU-38 smart weapons, and so I'm going to attempt to do that. This is not a super realistic mission, but we're going to do a couple of different passes. I'm not guaranteeing that I'm even going to hit everything. I'm not the best at this. This is just my procedures, and so my hope here is that it's kind of another quick and dirty, not too in-depth look at how I do it. And then if you want more information, you can just go find people who know a little bit more about it, or maybe go into more depth about it. So we're going to talk about the controls that we need first, and then we're just going to get into my procedures. One thing that I will say, this is just how I do it. There are a number of ways to do it. There are a number of ways to set your cockpit up and things like that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so the controls that you're going to need to do this are your TDC slew, horizontal and vertical, and then you're going to need your auto acquisition switch forward and aft. You're going to need your castle switch left and right, and you're going to need your TDC switch press. Those are really the only controls that you're going to need in this situation for the basic process that I go through. Everything else is done with mouse clicks or interactions with your hardware, with your cockpit screens and buttons. Okay, so now that we know the controls that we're on, we're going to just kind of set up our aircraft. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the armament page and air to ground. This is all pre-stuff. It's not really part of the actual delivery of this, but you do have to have it set up. So I've got nothing but GBU-38, so I'm going to select them all. We're going to go to auto, we're going to go to step, and we're going to go to nose tail. That's all we need there. Then I'm going to go ahead and go to my menu, go to M2, and then go to the smart weapons page just so I have this up at that time, or when I need it. I'm going to go to the menu here. I'm going to go to AG radar, and then I'm going to go ahead and take command of that radar. Just trimming out the plane just a touch. I need to trim it out more probably, but down here I don't really need my path. I've got the things that I need on my HUD, so I'm going to pop the 2s up down here just so that I have it. This particular mission shouldn't have too much for us because I built it, and I built it simply to do a tutorial, so there's not too much threatening on this map. Okay, so now it's a matter of just getting closer to the target. I'm going to bump this out so you can see waypoint 2 is our IP because of the square. This is just personal preference, I guess, but I'm staying in AA mode at the moment because I'm not really set up to do my attack, and so in case something popped up, we would want to be in AA mode so we could switch a little bit quicker over to a defensive stance. So anyway, let's start mapping. We've got our radar, our air-to-ground radar set up to map right now, so we can slew this around, and I'm going to use the auto act forward button to kind of get that down to a smaller area. I know this is my target area, so I'm going to get the TDC cursor over that area, and then I'm going to TDC press and start that mapping process. If you can't map, if it won't let you map, either change your map window size or don't fly straight at the place that you're trying to map, or maybe you're too close or too far away, one or the other. So we're going to go ahead and auto act forward and back to get that the size we want. TDC press to map a smaller area. And once it's done, we've got a little bit of a shadow there. That's okay. We're going to just go ahead and change this to Q, and we're going to start on this end of the runway. We're just going to Q that, and then because I don't want to change these windows, I'm going to switch this over to the T-Pod. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and box EXP, and then we're going to take command of that. And we're a little bit off there, but we're going to slew in, or start slewing around. So this targeting pod isn't great. You got to get pretty close before you can start seeing things. We got a dark spot there. I think we're kind of more of like a white hot. So I'm guessing that this is one of our targets down here. Looks like we've got some bombers there, but I can't tell for sure. I don't see anything else. Okay, now I'm gonna pause it here real quick. One thing to note, we're on the smart weapons page and we've got this GBU-38 marked as our first one that we're going to set a designation for. That's fine. You can use this next station. That's basically what this is, next station. It's kind of weird to get it to whatever station you want. But basically we're going to find a target and we're going to be in TGT here to target. We're going to put the cursor where we want and we're going to designate it. It doesn't always, it's hard to designate really close. There's probably a better way to do it or a way to do it more effectively than what I'm going to do, but this is just the way I do it. So we're going to go ahead and designate this guy. Like I said, it's hard to get close. So now that we have it designated, we can hit this. You see this transfer T-pod. We're going to transfer it. It's going to think for a minute. That's boxed. We're good. I'm going to advance over to this station. And we're going to try to find that next target. Yeah. There we go. I saw something down there, but it wasn't very bright. Now this one's going to be harder to designate, but we're going to slew over it and cursor depress. And that designated the target, and now we can transfer T-pod. Now we're boxed. Now we want to step back to that station. Let's back off a little bit. We're going to go into AG mode and we're going to arm up. So we've got a 42-second time to release. It's kind of hard to see because of the HUD, but let's pause it here real quick. I know we're staring into the sun, but let's look at this real quick. So right here we've got basically a window. This is sort of a windage window, if you will. I don't know what it's really called. This is our center line. We want to be as close to that center line as possible, but you've got a window of kind of flexibility here where the bomb can correct for windage. Over here you've got some lines for like minimum range and things like that. This box, I tend to use the staple, and I think once this caret drops below this staple, our T-rail should be at 0, and then we will release. Also, as you see, now we're in range. I'm not going to drop yet though. Let's come down to the horizon. There we go. I'm going to wait for T-rail, even though I don't think I have to. Bomb away. It bounced. Let's pause. These two lines are telling me that we're over on this one now. So it bounced to the next target that I had set. Beautiful. Bomb away. Sometimes it hangs a little bit. Just press the pickle button until it drops. Now, I'm betting we're off a little bit. We kind of always are. Impact 1. Impact 2. I don't see any smoke coming out of that first guy. Or the second guy. We probably didn't get that close. Oh yeah, that was way off. That's kind of what I don't like about this targeting pod. I don't even see the impact crater down here. But that's okay. All right. Okay, let's go back down. We're going to put this into practice again on a little bit of just some easier targets. Also, you can slew a lot easier if you zoom out on your targeting pod. Okay, so we're going to set that as my first target. We're going to set up this bomb, transfer. It's boxed. We can move over to the other one. All right, got some glare on the screen. That's okay. We're going to slew over, designate that target. We do need to next station because this one's already boxed. Transfer that target. Now we are going to slew over here. Designate. Whoop. I'm going to designate that again. Plane got in the way. Designate. Nope, I don't like it there. Designate. It just doesn't want to stay still. Okay. Next station. You should next station probably before you target your next thing, but that's okay. So we're going to slide back there, and then we're going to roll in. I think we are good. So let's center up on our steering cue, and let's get it level. And watch that carrot come down. So it's going to come past that first line, and then we're going to get our steering azimuth for the first bomb. I'm just going to wait till it gets into the staple. Well, it's in the staple, but we're going to wait for the T-rail. There we go. Bomb away. We've stepped to the next station down here. Bomb away. Bomb away. Beautiful. There we've got our targets down there. Oh, 2 hits simultaneously. And there's the third one went long, or actually I think the first one and the second one went long, and then the third one hit where it's supposed to. That's actually that happens frequently. So, you know, it's just one of those things that happen. So, I'm gonna roll around, and we're just gonna check with our targeting pod here. So yeah. Hey, we did enough damage to the first one, it blew up anyway. We did no damage to those. Oh, the middle one's still alive? Interesting. I thought it took a direct hit. We barely did any damage. You gotta get a lot closer with 500-pound bombs. I don't know where this bomb went. That target I could barely see in the targeting pod. These kinds of problems will be a little bit easier to deal with when we have a better targeting pod, or if you get closer to your target, if that makes sense. So just for grins, we got a better spot on this guy. Let's go ahead and designate it. We can go to the next station. We're boxed, we're ready to go. We'll just roll in on this guy and just shoot one guy. We're higher up, we've got a better angle above the target, we're looking down on him. It's just a little bit easier to get good target, like a good GPS location on a target whenever you've got a better angle on it. So keep that in mind as well. There's our target box. We're in the zone. So I'm basically just gonna, the bomb can kind of correct if you're not just perfect, but we're gonna go ahead and drop that guy. You'll also notice that our targeting pod isn't looking directly at him anymore. Shouldn't be a problem, assuming that the GPS, that the data that we fed the bomb was correct at the time. The targeting pod drifts a little bit, so this is where a laser guided bomb is going to be a little more accurate, but GPS guided bombs are fun. And we're going to wrap up after this bomb impacts. Wherever it impacts, we're going to wrap up. So I just want to repeat that these are my procedures. Good hit. He's dead. These are my procedures. You can do it differently if you want, and there are better ways to do it. These are just kind of the basic steps that I use to do the job. So do whatever you want and play around with these procs and other people's procs until you find something that really works for you. But again, it's not as quick and dirty as my BVR tutorial because there's a little bit more that goes into it than basic BVR. But I hope it was helpful. Happy flying.